Welcome to OpenRPG and Oppenheim YouTube video, episode number 2. Last week I talked about how to create a campaign and invite players to your campaign as a GM. Today I'm just going to give a quick walkthrough about how all of this information on our website is generated and basically how the front end is fed all of this information. So currently, as you know, um, or maybe as you don't know, the OpenRPG website and the world of Oppenheim is available for everyone to explore, from rules of the game to the world of Oppenheim itself, where um, you can read about the current setting, you can explore the different beasts that are available in the world. You can read up on the different ethnicities that Oppenheim provides along with their bonuses, religions, professions, cities, the map. And all of this data is loaded from a back-end process. The map is loaded from using Asgar's fantasy map generator, and the cities for our geography are loaded in from um, Waterbu's city and village generator. I just want to make a shout out to Asgar and Waterbu for creating such a content rich set of tools that we at OpenRPG were able to leverage. So this is like the front end that players and game masters would come to learn about OpenRPG and Oppenheim. But we do have a very exciting tool that powers our front end. A contributor, or perhaps even a game master, I'm undecided yet as to how we're going to orchestrate the roles for the back end. We have this administrative back end, which allows our contributing users, our administrators, perhaps even our game masters, to contribute content to what is happening on the front end, what we distribute to the players and game masters. As an example, I'll just do a quick run through of these things. We have the tools that allow you to create new adventures. So an adventure is made up of a set of information that you would supply to your game master. An adventure has one or more chapters. A chapter has one or more encounters, and each of these things can be as detailed as the author wants it to be. Once an adventure is created, it is given the draft mode status. Once an adventure is completed and is ready for play, it will be assigned the published status, which will mean that from the GM's perspective, it will become available and playable in their adventure library. We've decided to let the GM see adventures that are coming down the pipe in a draft status, although they cannot view them or add them as adventurers. They do have some knowledge that there are other adventures being worked on. Adventures is just the first button in a host of many other menu items that you'll see in the administrative area, where you can add armor categories, defensive profiles, which are some of these things are very rule-based oriented configurations, which I will talk to at length in other tutorials. So we're talking about adding and editing artifacts. You can manage some of the cities that exist within our world, adding descriptions. Really, that's all you can do because the population and features come from our Waterboo integration. Um, you can manage creatures. So if you have a creature that you want to create, you can create your own creatures that fits nicely into our system. And as you can see, we have just a host of default creatures that come out of the box. So if your party happens to be fighting a brown bear, this is a little bit about what attributes that brown bear may have when they come up against a party of adventurers. Um, we've got the same that not only can you add and create creatures, you can add and create items. Down here, weapons. You can take a look at rivers in our ecosystem, add descriptions. You can add and edit religions within our system, and that is kind of handy if you decide that you want to have your own religion. Um, not only do you have the ability to add your own religion, but you can determine the bonuses that religion might give as a boon to a character choosing that religion. The same can be said for professions, and obviously a host of other things that you can see here. A couple of the interesting things that I will touch upon are this concept of archetypes. So not only can you create archetypes, but when you're creating a creature, you can select an archetype that applies to that creature, which influences its statistics without you having to get involved into the minutia if you don't want to. The same can be said for creating NPCs. NPCs are created during the process of creating adventures. So if you're creating an adventure that requires a NPC that is going to be part of our world, that may be killed off, that may exist after your adventure, you can create an NPC. The process of creating an NPC is very straightforward and easy. You give them a name, add some few quick details, and similar to creating creatures, you can either choose from an existing archetype to apply to that NPC, which will drive its skill values, attributes, and all of that kind of stuff, or you can create a new archetype that suits your needs for that new character that you're developing. And kind of that's just all I wanted to talk about today, was to show you that the front end of our Oppenheim and OpenRPG rules and world and website that players and game masters will use are built upon a very sophisticated administrative backend where we are micromanaging or managing assets that you see and use in the front end. And hopefully we can open up this administrative area to the community where we are all going to be adding and reusing resources that can add a richness and fullness to the world of Oppenheim and the rule set of OpenRPG. Thanks for taking the time to stop by. Hopefully that wasn't too boring, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.